You're watching City Channel 4, your window to our community.
Welcome to the United Way of Johnson and Washington County's 2016-17 annual campaign kickoff, where it's all about the power of you. My name is Deidre Richardson, and I'm the new Director of Development, Marketing, and Communications. I am honored to lead this campaign. Thank you. I am honored to lead this campaign for our community with the power of you. We've added a new component to this year's campaign kickoff. Hunger is not a game. This is a volunteer-based food packaging event that will occur after our program. We were overwhelmed and filled with joy from the calls and emails received to volunteer. We hit capacity 1 week after the advertisement went public. So, for those who specifically signed up for the Hunger is Not a Game event, we will convene in Building B after the program. So, this annual event remains successful because of the support of our sponsors. Benson and Hepker, for their in-kind design work to market and create awareness to support our vision. Iowa State University Extension and Outreach for providing this spacious facility to house our event today. Fresh Food Concepts for supplying the breakfast and beverages to jumpstart our day. Goodfellow Printing, smile for our photographer as he captures today's special moments, providing us in-kind, quality, priceless photos. Channel 4, for taping our annual event that will air on Mediacom's Channel 4. We thank you. Now we would like to recognize our elected officials. We honor you. Could you please stand? We appreciate our elected officials, area governments, and partner community organizations for helping us in the work we do every day to help our community. We work with 31 wonderful partner agencies. We thank you for your work, consistently providing superlative assistance to better our community. Please stand if you represent one of our partner agencies. Thank you again for all of your hard work. We have 21 members on our board of directors that lead and guide our organization. Their business savvy and wisdom is key to our success. We would like to recognize our highly regarded 2016-17 board of directors. Please stand. Now, it gives me great honor to introduce and welcome our Board of Directors Chair, Mr. Gary Barta.
Good morning, everybody. There you go. There is a little life in the room. You know, as I look around, first of all, before we got started, there was so much energy in the room, and it's so exciting. And then I see government officials being introduced. Members of the different organizations in our community, volunteers, staff members, and I think about why we're here this morning. It's always symbolic to kick off our campaign. And there's going to be thermometers, and there's going to be business campaigns. But let's get back down to the root of why we're here. And I'm going to talk about a couple of things as it relates to that. But the root of why we live in an incredible community. We have low unemployment. We have great medical care. We have incredible schools. We have the University of Iowa. And we're constantly in the news or on magazine lists for being one of the great places in the country to live. That being said, we clearly have challenges in our community. We have needs in our community, and that's the core of what we're doing. And we're going to do it through United Way, and I've been a part of United Way. We were talking about, back 20-some years ago at UNI when I worked there and everywhere else I've been, and that's a critical key, and that's why we're here today. We have members of different churches in this room, and through our church, we can help the community. We all live in a neighborhood, and we should be helping our neighbors directly and individually. We met government officials that are here today. So all of those are critical to helping meet the needs in this community. No one entity can do it by itself. And so, but let's focus on United Way. We know about the agencies that do incredible work. We know every year we set a goal and we try to get the thermometer to burst at the top, and we're going to do that again with our great leadership. But we're also focusing every year. We have a community assessment. We're trying to figure out, we need data on what those needs are. And then we need to attack those needs in a focused way. And let me give you two examples of what you all and we all are working on. First of all, let's talk for a minute about literacy. This morning I was thinking about this. Can you think of, personally, when you learned to read? Do you have a memory of that first time? I don't. I do remember that my mom was a single parent. She was raising 3 kids, and somehow, some way between 2 or 3 jobs, she wasn't a college graduate. No one in our family had been, but she knew, she didn't have data that I'm going to share with you, but she knew how important it was to get ahead in life for me to learn how to read. So now let's talk about literacy. We do have data. We know that if you read at your grade level by the 3rd grade, you're 4 times more likely to graduate from high school. We know that. That's hard data. Now let's look inside our community. We've done our community assessment. We know that in the 4th grade, 25% of our 4th graders don't yet read at the grade level. So we have a need, we have a challenge, we have an issue. Through United Way, there's a couple of projects this summer, and they've been going on longer than that. And there's other projects in the community, obviously. But 2 of them I'm going to share with you, the Early Literacy Program and the Grade Level Reading Initiative. In June, United Way kicked off, thanks to many people in this room, my very own book drive. And thanks to the businesses and individuals, you saw those boxes around the community, we generated 3,176 books. Those books are now going to go into the hands of elementary school kids. We know that if you have books at home, if you have access to books, you're going to increase your chances of reading. But that's not enough, because you need an adult to read with you. We know the data shows that if an adult reads with you, your chances of learning how to read go up. So in addition to, obviously, in the home first, but for those places, those homes that maybe it's not working as well, or maybe kids are busy, parents are busy, Reading Buddies. 36 volunteers were trained this summer, and they're going to go into 10 elementary schools and read with kids in our elementary school. That's one example among many that are going on in this community, and it's a specific need within our agencies, within our community, and it's one example of one of the things United Way is doing. But United Way can't do it alone. The people in this room, we have to get out and spread the word, and I'm preaching to the choir, but we need to spread that word, both in raising money and in raising volunteerism. Now let me shift gears, because obviously literacy is a basic need, another basic need in our community. How many of you, and again, I thought about this morning, how many of you in this room have ever been in that point in your life where you worried about where your next meal was going to come from? Again, I go back to my childhood. My mom, single mom, working 3 or 4 jobs. We didn't have much. But I don't ever remember a time in my life where I worried about my next meal. My mom probably was worrying about it, but I wasn't. She insulated us from that. But in our community, this great community that we live in, today, 1 of 7 people that live in Johnson and Washington County is going to be worried about and not sure where their next meal is going to come from. Again, just a reminder, we live in this great place. We're probably isolated day to day from some of these needs, and we just have to remind ourselves that they're real. That's why we're involved in United Way. That's why you're involved in your church. That's why you're involved in your agency. That's why you're here. And so this morning, as Deidre mentioned, by the way, Deidre, you were a little nervous. You did great. Did awesome. Let's give a hand for Deidre. It's great to have you on board. So this morning, rather than us sitting around, in the past, many of you have been involved in this for a long time, we sit around and we're at the Marriott and we have a big breakfast, and instead we're going to reverse that. Many of you are going to stick around. 135 volunteers are going to create 20,000 meals this morning, and it's an oatmeal, apple breakfast, basically, for 20,000 meals throughout the year. So we're going to combine. We know this, too. The data shows if our stomachs are full and we go to school and we read, wow, we have a chance to take that success rate graduating from high school and beyond to go way up. So those are just two examples that we wanted to share with you this morning about when you make that donation, when you encourage others at your workplace to come on board. Those are just two things that among many that the United Way is doing. So give yourselves a hand again in advance for getting this thing kicked off. Now, every year, we need somebody to lead this crazy event. We need somebody that's willing to step up and say, I care about this community, I care about United Way, how can I help? And it's usually somebody who's been involved for a long time. Well, this year and at this time, I'm going to ask two people to come forward. Kurt Heidemann is the current president of U.S. Bank, and Renda Green-Fishman is a vice president at U.S. Bank. They were in training last year as part of the campaign committee, but then graciously agreed to chair the 2016 United Way Kickoff campaign. So let's give them both a big hand.
Well, thank you, Gary, and we certainly appreciate everyone that is in attendance today. We're really excited about the new format that we have in terms of we're having individuals that can come out and volunteer right away at this event. And we're addressing one of those needs that Gary had mentioned that is so prevalent within our community, and that's hunger. This year's theme is the power of you. And we were very intentional when we were trying to go through and pick out a theme because we feel that this campaign and all United Way should speak to everyone in our communities. And if I say community, I mean all of those communities in Johnson and Washington County. This campaign is going to be successful, and we know that it is, but it's not going to be because of what I do or what Renda does or what our campaign cabinet does. It's going to be successful because we get everybody involved. And we need to make sure that we communicate that everyone, it's not just the leaders of organizations, but everyone in our community has the ability to truly make an impact. And what we're looking for is a little bit from many. If we can get a little contribution from so many people, we can do great things. And that's the idea. And we know that contributions can take place in different forms. Some it may be dollars, and some it may be volunteer time. But the big thing is the engagement. And let me just say that Renda and I are very humbled to be in this role, and it's a great responsibility, and certainly one that we take very seriously. And we are ready to put forth both the energy and the effort that it's going to take for this thing to be successful. And to that, I want to now acknowledge the outstanding work of the past chairs who have gone on and done this before us and really made it easier for us. They've laid the foundation, they provided a blueprint, and now we just have to execute that. So if we could have any past chairs of the campaign, please stand. Thank you very much for the work that you've done. And Gary had already mentioned the talented board of directors that we have at the United Way. And we're certainly going to welcome their input and their expertise and maybe be able to leverage some of their relationships as well. And then I want to recognize the outstanding United Way staff that we have that work so hard behind the scenes. And the way I look at the campaign, it's a puzzle with so many different pieces in it. And they do such a great job of putting all the pieces together and making sense out of it. And so let's give the staff a hand. Please stand. Stand. So in these campaigns, every year there's a goal. And this year they've said that's not an exception. So the goal this year is $2.3 million. Now, as Terry Anderson has said in some of our campaign cabinet meetings, every year you start at zero. And zero is a really small number. So we've got work to do, and we understand that. And it doesn't come without some angst. Brenda and I were fortunate enough to learn from Kevin and Julie last year, who were the campaign co-chairs. And I'm pretty sure that when the campaign started last year, Kevin had a full head of hair. So it's a little scary, but really we take solace in the fact that we have been going out and meeting with leaders in our community and knowing that year in and year out, this community, our communities, have always risen to the occasion. We get this thing done. And we're confident because in those meetings that we've had with company leaders and those individuals that have a firm footing of our community, they believe in what the United Way is doing. And they believe that through the partner agencies, we can make this a better place. And I would say to say that we have their buy-in is probably not strong enough. We have more than that. And just like any of the organizations that maybe we work for or athletic teams, if you can have belief in what you're doing, you can get things done. That's how you get things done. That's how you accomplish great things. So as I've said to the campaign cabinet, we have a goal of 2.3 million. I hope we get to 4 million. But we have to believe that we can do great things as a community. And we have to believe that there are challenges out there that individuals have, and the United Way through the partner agencies address and provide solutions to those challenges. So, now I want to turn it over to Brenda.
Thanks, Kurt. Wow, I have to deal with that, and after the big West City rivalry for the Spike last night, I don't know if I have a voice left, so. Anyway, I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you why I'm so passionate about United Way and why I have accepted the chair leadership role for the 2016-17 campaign. First off, many of you know, you can't say no to United Way. I have been very fortunate to be born and raised in Johnson County. My grandparents were farmers not too far from here on the Lackender farm. My mom's a professional volunteer, and my father, Bob Carpenter, was an elected official, or many would say public servant. He was sheriff of Johnson County for 16 years and over 40 years with the county. The stories that my dad would share with me growing up had an impact on my life. The Sheriff's Department works very closely with the 31 partner agencies that we work with on United Way. And they really look to us for those funds. So whether my dad was called away for a domestic violence situation, a drowning, or getting a homeless man off the street, he was fortunate to have those agencies in our community to call for that next step. I joined U.S. Bank 5 years ago and accepted the responsibility of being our campaign coordinator and in the Iowa City market. And as I heard the United Way stories, I learned more about the impact and what we had in our community. And I wanted to help more. So these services are not just for people that are poor, but these are affected by everyone. 3 years ago, I joined the cabinet campaign, and I've enjoyed meeting the businesses in our community and spreading the United Way word. I have accepted the co-chair leadership role with Kurt, as I know we all have the power inside each of us to do the right thing, and that is to give back to the community. We do not just want to talk about raising the funds. We want to show you with actions that we are committed to make this a better community and make this the best campaign ever. As studies show, 1 in 7 people are hungry in Johnson County. So we were thrilled when Katie talked about making this into the hunger packaging event. I said, how can this be? 1 in 7 are hungry. This is my community that I was raised in. I never realized people were missing meals. 1/3 of the kids in Johnson County are on free and reduced lunches. We need to ensure these kids have meals in the summer and when school is not in session. I have children in the Iowa City School District and want to lead by example for them. We all need to be role models for the next generation. After all, the United Way is now reaching out to 5 generations. So thank you all for your support.
Thank you, Renda. And as we've alluded to, the United Way supports 31 partner agencies in Johnson and Washington County. And this is important. But we also know that there's not just 31 stories that come out of this. There's hundreds and thousands of stories where these partner agencies are helping people and giving a hand to those in need. And as Gary alluded to, we're just extremely fortunate to live in the communities that we do. I would argue to say that we're the envy of many other towns and cities in Iowa and really across the country. But unfortunately, not everyone feels this way. And at times, they need help. And the needs that they have are real. And I know that this has been talked about, but it's hard to imagine that there's individuals in our community that lack food, that lack access to health care, that lack appropriate shelter. The goal as we see it through the United Way, we want to give individuals an opportunity at success. Many of these individuals, they just need a helping hand and then they're off and running. But at the time, that's what they need. And this gives them an opportunity to live and enjoy life, which is what we all want. So, as we begin the 2016 and 17 campaign, we're challenging all of you to be engaged and to be thinking about all the different ways in which you can contribute to the United Way campaign. My hope is that we're able to reach individuals and companies that are not familiar with the United Way or the partner agencies. We want all of you, and we want your children, your neighbors, your cousins to be able to tell United Way story. This is going to allow us to reach so many more people. And in a sense, I really feel like this is our community's pursuit to better. As we continue to make this the best place to live for everyone and never ever be satisfied until that we've known that we've helped every single individual in Washington and Johnson County that needs it. Brenda?
All right, I would like to invite up here to stand our United Way campaign cabinet for 2016-17 year. So if you guys are just going to come and stand up here so everyone can see. We are so... We are so thankful for this stellar group of volunteers. They all come highly accredited. The campaign cabinet members plan and implement strategies essential to engage and fundraise from individuals and corporations who want to improve lives in the community. As we work with 5 generations, it is important we use methods to communicate and get our word across to everyone. So with our first meeting under our belt, we were super excited about the great ideas and the conversations that were sparked. We also would like to thank the companies that allow their employees to serve on the cabinet. United Way of Johnson and Washington counties would not be able to get the message across and run so efficiently without these volunteers. So thank you. I would also like to announce Brugger's Bagels and United Way fundraiser. Brugger's Bagels and Jamba Juice has a new location at 708 South Riverside Drive. And before they open the doors on September 14th, they are hosting a sneak peek fundraiser event. So Tuesday, September 13th from 7 to 10 a.m. For a minimum donation of $5 per person, you can enjoy a complimentary breakfast, lunch, or lunch menu item, or plus your choice of beverage. So please join us.
So in closing, I would just, again, want to thank everybody for coming out. It's early in the morning, and this shows that you're already engaged by being here today. There's no doubt that this community needs the power of you. And please continue this long-standing tradition of helping those in need and go out there and live united. Thank you.
You're watching City Channel 4. On TV, online, on demand, on Facebook, and now on the go on your mobile device.